All right, let's talk about two things you probably don't put in the same sentence: artificial intelligence and nuclear power. It sounds kind of weird, right? But believe it or not, this surprising connection is quietly reshaping our future. And today, we're going to dig into exactly how.
So here's the big question, the one that really gets you thinking. Why on earth are the most forward-thinking, innovative tech companies on the planet suddenly getting super interested in a 70-year-old energy technology? I mean, it feels like a total mismatch. So what is really going on here?
And look, this isn't just some hypothetical idea. We're talking about the absolute giants of tech. Google, Amazon, you name it. They are making serious investments in nuclear power. To figure out why, we've got to pull back the curtain on the AI revolution and look at its massive, kind of hidden energy cost.
Okay, so let's start with the motive. What's driving all this? Well, it boils down to one thing: an absolutely insane, mind-boggling demand for electricity. We're talking about a scale that we've just never seen before. In fact, some experts have already given it a name: the AI electricity war. And it makes sense. These tech giants are in a frantic race, not just for smarter algorithms anymore, but for the raw electrical power needed to bring them to life. The new battleground in tech? It's the power grid.
So how much power are we really talking about? Well, get this, just one of these big AI data centers can suck up as much electricity as 500,000 homes, 500,000 homes. And these things are popping up everywhere at an incredible speed.
And if you think that's wild, the future projections are even crazier. We're on a path where by 2030, the entire AI industry could use more electricity than the entire country of Argentina. That's not just growth, you guys. That is an absolute explosion of demand.
Okay, but here's where the plot thickens. It's not just about finding more power. The real challenge is finding a very specific kind of power. And this is where a lot of our usual energy sources start to run into some serious problems.
The key term you need to know here is baseload power. It sounds technical, but it's pretty simple. Think of it as the steady, constant hum of electricity that the grid has to provide 24/7, no matter what. For an AI data center that cannot turn off, ever, having that reliable, always-on power isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely everything.
So let's look at the options, right? You've got solar and wind, which are great, totally clean, but the sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow. They're intermittent. They can't give you that 24/7 power. Then you have natural gas. Super reliable for sure, but it comes with a big carbon footprint. So what's left? What gives you that always-on baseload power and has zero emissions? Well, the list gets pretty short. And that right there brings us to the big reveal, the solution that these tech giants are now betting on. The one energy source that checks all the boxes: massive scale, 24/7 consistency, and a zero carbon footprint.
It's nuclear. I mean, it's almost perfectly designed for this problem. It delivers that huge amount of baseload power day in, day out. It's the most energy-dense, clean source we've got. Zero carbon emissions while it's running. And here's the really futuristic part. Companies are looking at building small, modular reactors right on site, next to their data centers. A dedicated, private, non-stop power plant just for their AI.
This quote really nails the massive shift in thinking that's happening. The realization is dawning that AI isn't the most important piece of the puzzle anymore. The real key is the power source. Google, Amazon, they've figured out that to win the AI race, you first have to win the energy race. So, let's zoom out. What's the takeaway here? This isn't just about a few companies making a business deal. This budding alliance between big tech and big nuclear, it's a signal of a much, much bigger shift in how our entire future might be powered.
The logic is actually pretty straightforward when you lay it all out. You start with AI growing like crazy. That creates this unprecedented need for power that never, ever shuts off. That, in turn, is forcing these companies to pour massive amounts of money into nuclear. In the end result, a future where both tech and energy look completely different than they do today.
Which really leaves us with one last massive question to chew on. You know, we started this whole thing trying to figure out why tech companies are interested in nuclear power. But maybe the real story is that AI's appetite for energy has gotten so huge, so insatiable, that it's literally forcing us, all of us, to redefine our entire global energy future. What happens next? Honestly, that's a story that's still being written, and we're all going to be a part of it.